Today I'm doing something that surprisingly I've never done before in my life. After traveling full-time for over a year, today I'm going on my first fully solo trip. Usually when I travel with friends and family, or I travel to go visit friends and family. Honestly, it's quite intimidating going on my first solo trip, but I think the destination I chose should be a good one. I'm gonna go to Kyushu in Japan, Fukuoka, Kumamoto, and Nagasaki. I'm really excited to go visit an unfamiliar region in a country that I've been to multiple times before. So yeah, it's 30 minutes until boarding. See you guys in Japan. I've landed in Japan and our first stop is Osaka. Unfortunately, there are no direct flights over to Fukuoka, so I'm here and then I'm gonna go take a night bus all the way to Fukuoka. It will probably take like 10 hours, which is way cheaper than taking the Shinkansen. And I've never taken a night bus before in Japan, so it will be an experience. The bus tonight is near Umeda Station, and I can take an airport train that goes there directly. Taking a train in Japan is super easy. You don't need to go line up and get a ticket, just get a Suica card. You can even apply for it on your Apple Wallet if you use an iPhone. I'm sure there's a similar version for Android as well. And then you just scan it at the gate and take the train like you would take the subway. So I just stored my bags in one of the coin lockers. It's really convenient here. It costed me 700 yen for the day. And now I have around 8 hours to kill until my bus to Fukuoka. So cue the montage for my short day trip in Osaka. At last, I made it over to the Umeda Sky Building, and the bus station is right inside. This bus company is called Willer Express, which is one of the most popular overnight highway buses if you want to go long distance in Japan. From Osaka, you can go to places like Tokyo or like Fukuoka, which I'm going to right now. This is a lot slower than taking the train. It's probably the slowest method to get from Osaka to Fukuoka. If you take the Shinkansen, it will only be 2.5 hours, but it costs nearly $100. Here, the overnight bus costs around $35, and you get to save one night of hotels. So if you're on a budget, I think this is a good plan. In the lounge here, there are vending machines and places to charge your devices, so that's good if you're low on battery like I am. Top tip, when traveling to Fukuoka by either train or bus, your destination will most likely be Hakata Station, the major transportation hub, and you won't actually see the name Fukuoka anywhere. The seats on the bus are a little small but comfortable. There's a little cover to give you some extra privacy, and a USB-A charging port. Okay, time to go to bed. After a couple of hours, we're here at a service station. There's no toilet on the bus, so you have to come use the toilet here at the service station. The toilets here are really clean, just like most of them in Japan. I've never seen a Japanese service station before. It's actually really pretty. There's a hall selling food and snacks, but I don't think I'm gonna eat right now. It's nearly midnight. After a long bus ride that was actually quite pleasant, I am here in Fukuoka. I just stored my bags in one of these lockers and now I'm gonna go find something to eat. It's just around the busiest time of day right now at 8 a.m. in the morning. There's so much movement going on at this station. I got myself a nice rice ball, but I can't find a place to sit down and eat. So I'm just standing right outside the station right now. I think I'm gonna finish my breakfast and then I'm gonna go explore Fukuoka. Even though I barely got any sleep yesterday night on the bus, with the sunshine out and this clear blue sky, I feel energized again. My first stop today in Fukuoka is the Ohori Park. While Hakata Station is obviously really crowded right now in the morning, there's actually barely anyone here at Ohori Park, so it's a great time for a morning walk. I'm not gonna lie, solo traveling still feels kind of strange to me. There's nobody to talk to, I can go wherever I want, don't need to ask for anyone's opinion. But even just one day in this trip, it does feel kind of lonely sometimes. But either way, there's no better place to do it than Japan. Here in the park, you can also find the Fukuoka Art Museum, but since the weather is so nice today, I don't think I'm gonna do any indoor activities. Right now I'm gonna head to the ruins of the Fukuoka Castle. There's literally nobody here other than some workers. It's sort of like walking through a ghost town. But I mean, they are castle ruins, so I guess it sort of is a ghost town in that sense. The castle really is completely gone. I don't know why I was expecting some more remnants of it, maybe like the ruins of a building, but the only thing that remains right now is the base of the castle keep, which is what I'm standing on right now. I think the perfect time to come here is probably during sunset, since you do get a panoramic view of the city, but it is really windy and chilly up here during the fall, almost winter time. Okay, I think it's time to go head somewhere else. The most important activity today is to go get a nice bowl of Hakata Ramen. Here in Fukuoka, you can actually take the subway by just tapping your credit card. Of course, you can also use the Japanese transportation cards, but if you're going to take the subway more than 3 times, you're better off getting a one-day ticket for 640 yen. Now it's time to go try the dish I came to Fukuoka for, Hakata-style ramen. Look at that line behind me. It's already quite long. It's 11:15 right now. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to stand in line for. Hopefully not over 1 hour. The queuing process here is kind of complicated. You first stand in line to take order. When it's your turn, you go inside the restaurant and order from the machine. It'll give you this little ticket. Then you go back outside again and wait in front of the line to get seated. It's a little bit confusing, but the staff were really helpful. After around 50 minutes, it's finally time for me to eat. I got this Hakata ramen and a rice bowl that it comes with. It's a set menu they have for lunch and it costs 1,250 yen. I love tonkatsu ramen, so let's take it and try this. Gotta start with that broth. It's so heavenly, my goodness. Compared to regular tonkatsu ramen, Hakata ramen always uses these super thin noodles. The broth is so thick and that pork bone flavor penetrates every inch of these thin ramen noodles. The other toppings are also very simple. Spring onions, wood ear mushrooms, and of course, chashu pork. I put my tongue on the chashu and it just disintegrates. Now I'm gonna try this rice bowl. It's so pretty, I don't even want to mix it up. I'm gonna put a spoon of that pork bone broth in there just to soak it up a bit. I'm not sure if it's the proper way to eat it, but I saw somebody else on the table do it, so I'm gonna follow what they do. It looks like there's also some shredded meat, some pickled vegetables, and of course egg and chashu inside this rice ball. That soft-boiled egg mixed with the mayo, mixed with the pork bone broth, even makes the rice ball super creamy. Kind of has the texture of a risotto now. After 2 sleepless nights, I lined up 1 hour for this, and it's completely worth it. Maybe if you come when it opens at 11 a.m., it will be slightly better, maybe like 30-minute wait, but wow, highly, highly recommend. You just gotta have a bit of patience. Honestly, that was one of the best ramen experiences I've ever had. Oh, I'm so happy right now. So full, but so happy. Top tip, come at 11 a.m. on the dot when it opens, or maybe even earlier to keep the waiting time short for you. Check out how long the line is right now. They even had to separate it so you don't block the entrance of that building. Okay, yeah, I do feel kind of bad for these people. I've decided that I'm gonna have a bowl of Hakata ramen every single day I'm here in Fukuoka. So look forward to what I'm gonna have tomorrow. After lunch, it's time to explore more of Fukuoka, and I'm here at the Kushida Shrine. Just like most shrines in Japan, you can come here to get a omikuji, a fortune-telling card. So let's go test out my luck this year. So I got my little fortune slip. Last time I did this in Tokyo, I got bad fortune. Let's see what it gives me this time. Yes! This time I got very lucky. Like an eagle greeting spring. So I guess I'll hold on to this fortune slip, but if you get bad fortune, you can always tie it over there so the bad fortune doesn't follow you around. This giant thing behind me is a yamakasa that's actually carried through the town during a special festival each year. During the 13th century, it's said to protect the city from a plague, but now the tradition continues and they do it as a festival each year. Apparently it only takes 7 people to carry this thing. They must be super strong, and they parade it for 5 kilometers around the city. Another nice place to visit in the area is the Tochoji temple. This temple is famous for having one of the largest wooden Buddha statues in Japan. However, filming inside the hall is generally prohibited, so unfortunately I can't show you. It only costs 50 yen if you want to go see for yourself. The temple garden itself is free to enter and a very peaceful place to walk around. For my last stop today, I made it to the seaside near Fukuoka Tower. There is a beach here, but it's way too windy, so I'm not gonna go down. The Fukuoka Tower is actually the tallest seaside tower in Japan, so the view should be gorgeous. It's nearly sunset right now, so I think this is the perfect time to go up. The ticket for this tower is very affordable, only 800 yen. We made it to the top of the Fukuoka Tower. At just over 230 meters tall, it's actually not that tall compared to anything in Tokyo, but for a city with barely any skyscrapers, this is still a landmark building in Fukuoka. They even have this free photo shoot area. I mean, most observation decks have a photo shoot area, but here they give you a small card as a free gift, which is a nice touch. Okay, enough talking from me. Sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this sunset together. I spent 2 hours just taking in the scenery up on Fukuoka Tower. Definitely come like 30 minutes before sunset to get the best experience. And don't forget to get a commemorative stamp before leaving. Now it's finally time to go have dinner, grab my suitcase from Hakata Station, and head to my guest house for a much needed rest. Good morning again from Fukuoka, and today I'm taking a day trip to Itoshima. I'm gonna visit Futamigaura, which has this famous torii gate that's on the water. It's around 7:40 in the morning right now, and if you want to go there in the morning like I am, you have to take a train over to the Kyudai Gakentoshi station, and then you can catch a bus over to Itoshima. After around an hour and a half train plus bus, I've arrived in the seaside of Itoshima. The easiest way to come here is taking a bus directly from Hakata Station without any transfers, but the earliest one is around 8:30, and that's probably the most popular way to come here as well, so it'll definitely be packed with people. If you like to avoid the crowd like me, all you need are a few transfers and some walking. That was actually a very quick and pleasant walk by the seaside. And what I like seeing the most is that nobody else is here. It's so nice that I get this entire place by myself right now. I think in an hour or so, there will be so many people crowded around here. So yeah, come early. As part of the nearby Sakurai Shrine, the Futamigaura couple rocks are one of the most famous sites in Fukuoka Prefecture. The two rocks are connected by a shiminawa, a Shinto rope used for purification and to ward off evil. The white torii gate, set against the backdrop of a clear blue sea, creates a perfectly elegant image. And now that the sun is out, it's even more beautiful. Of course, since these are couple rocks, many couples come here for photo shoots. Unfortunately, Rika isn't with me on this trip, so now I guess I have to bring her here next time. Oh, I came at absolutely the right time. Just 20 minutes after I got here, it's completely packed already. You're gonna have to wait a long time to get your photo if you come when all the other people come. Now I'm gonna walk along the sea and go further south to another small village. I think there are many cute cafes there, and we can have a perfect ocean view. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever been to rural Japan before. I'm usually just in the cities. I mean, this place is near a popular tourist destination, so it's not like in the middle of nowhere rural, but it's still a nice change of pace from the cities. I made my way to this cute seaside cafe called Lino Cafe. They serve pastries, gelato, and of course coffee. I ordered one of their green tea gelatos. They have really good gelato here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna chill here for a while, rest a bit, and then go explore again later. Well, that's a pretty perfect morning here in Fukuoka. I highly recommend coming out here for a day trip or even just half a day. I think there's actually a lot more to do around the Itoshima area, but it'll be easier with a car. Walking will probably take too long. Overall, this was still a very lovely morning. In the afternoon, there are many buses that will take you directly back to Hakata Station. Just look for this bus stop behind me, and the bus will come every hour or so. I've made it back to the city center, and for today's Hakata ramen experience, I decided to come when it's not mealtime, so there's no line at all. There's barely anyone here in the ramen shop. It's a very affordable ramen place and popular among locals in the region. This bowl of ramen only costs 650 yen compared to the 1250 yen I had yesterday. The ingredients are almost exactly the same, so let's see if it's good or not. No words, it's still super good. There's only 2 small pieces of chashu for the regular size, but you can always order the larger size. Compared to the 1 hour wait one, the broth here is not as thick, not as rich, but it's still really good. And it still comes with the soft-boiled egg and the woodier mushrooms that I love. Well, that was a fast and delicious meal. Objectively speaking, it's not as good as the one yesterday, but at 650 yen and no wait at all, I have 0 complaints. Highly recommend if you want a fast meal in a place that's not touristy. I'm not a ramen expert, but I have to say, I don't think there's such thing as a bad Hakata ramen. It's nearly sunset now, and today I'm going to go to another tower, the Hakata Port Tower. Apparently the entry is free, and the view should be very different from the Fukuoka Tower yesterday. Let's go check it out. Looks like the light is perfect right now. I thought I was going to miss the sunset, so I ran the last few hundred meters. I cannot miss this magic hour. Looks like I made it just in time. I think I might even like this view more than the Fukuoka Tower. Fukuoka Tower is a bit further away from the city center, while this one is right at the port of Hakata. So when you look out, you see all the boats, all the cruises, and of course the shipping docks. You can also see the busy city, the Naka River. It's just more within that hustling, bustling metropolis. It's my last day here and the sun is so bright right now. Today I'm going to take another day trip to the southern part of Fukuoka Prefecture. Right now I'm headed over to the Tenjin train station and I'm going to take the Nishitetsu train down. Before I go take the train, I got myself a spam and egg rice ball sandwich. Today, I'm heading to the cities of Ogori and Dazaifu to visit 2 very unique temples and shrines. They're in the same direction, just make sure to take the train from the Nishitetsu station in Tenjin, not Hakata station. All the different train lines can be a bit confusing. Okay, I made it to the train with only 3 minutes to spare. This train ride will take around 43 minutes. I'm gonna get off at Mitsusawa station, so it's quite a long ride. There doesn't seem to be too many people on the train. I think it's over rush hour already. I have arrived in Mitsusawa Station. Time to tell you a little bit more about where I'm going today. In Japan, there are many shrines and temples with animal symbolism. The most well-known are probably foxes at Inari shrines. But today, I am going to a frog temple. Seems quite a random animal to dedicate a temple to, but that's why it sounds super interesting. It's around a 15-minute walk from the train station. Well, here we are, and immediately I'm greeted by a giant frog. I have arrived in the Nyoirinji Frog Temple. Apparently there are over 10,000 frog statues in this little temple. Interestingly, there's actually a variety of different frog statues. Of course, there's the type that looks like a more realistic frog. But then there are also more cartoonish frogs. There are frog statues sitting down cross-legged, just like the Buddha. And some that I think don't even look like frogs, like these ones right here. They're literally just a ball with 2 eyes on them. But of course, this temple was not built to worship the frog. It was actually built to worship Nyoirinji, who is a Buddhist deity. That's why the temple has the name Nyoirinji Temple. This temple became the frog temple when a priest brought back a frog figurine on his trip to China. And later on, his collection just grew over the years. He wants this temple to be a free, fun, and open space for people to come visit. People also believe that this temple has a strong power and aura that will give its visitors safety, prosperity, and good luck. This has got to be one of the cutest and most unique temples I've ever been to. Well, that was 100% worth visiting. It's free to enter as well, so you just need to pay for transportation to get here, which costs 470 yen from Tenjin. Now I'm gonna head over to Dazaifu. There's one transfer in the middle, so the whole journey will probably take around 40 minutes. I've made it over to Fukuoka Issou, where I'm going to transfer to go to Dazaifu. The next train comes in around 15 minutes. It'll be another very short train ride over to Dazaifu. Dazaifu is a small historical city in Fukuoka Prefecture, known for its rich cultural heritage. The most famous landmark here is the Shinto shrine Dazaifu Tenmangu, which I'll head to later. But first, I have to check out the famous street food on Tenjin-sama Street. The most famous thing to try in Dazaifu is without a doubt this mochi. They have it at almost every single store on this street. I think it's like a red bean paste mochi. When they make it, they have the white gooey dough on the outside and they stuff it with the red filling. After that, they clamp it into this piping hot grill. So when they serve it to you, it's really hot. It kind of burns my hands right now. Ooh, it's really soft and delicious. It's not that sweet, and it's not as gooey or sticky as regular mochi either. Yeah, it's really good, and it only costs 150 yen. I like that it's a warm dessert and not a cold one. It's quite cool to see that each store makes the mochi in a slightly different way, some more automated than others. Now it's time to head over to Dazaifu Tenmangu. This shrine is dedicated to a Shinto deity of learning, culture, and the arts. That's why it's common to see students come here to pray before exams, or simply to ask for good grades. If you come here and make a prayer, there is a right way to do it. First, you approach the building and toss a coin into the box in front of it. Then you bow twice and clap twice. After that, you silently make your prayer. After you make your prayer, you bow one final time, and that's the end of the ritual. Just like most shrines in Japan, you can get an omakuji, a fortune card. If you haven't done so yet, do give it a try. And if you get bad fortune, don't forget to tie it over here so you don't carry the bad fortune with you. Another way to seemingly gain luck is by patting one of the ox statues in the shrine. The ox is the guardian of the shrine and has a special connection with the deity, so many people believe that rubbing its head will make them wiser. Other than the Dazaifu Temmangu shrine, there are actually some more smaller shrines in this area as well. So now I'm going to hike up to visit an Inari shrine. For those who don't know, Inari is the deity of rice and agriculture. The most famous Inari shrine is Fushimi Inari Taisha over in Kyoto, but actually there are Inari shrines all over Japan. This Inari shrine is still part of the Dazaifu Temmangu grounds, but since it's on top of a hill, it's quiet here with very few visitors. And of course, just like all Inari shrines, you can see the fox statues and the iconic red torii gates. But I think I came up the wrong way, so I'm seeing these torii gates as I go down the hill. I'm not 100% sure what these flags are for, but they seem to have people's names on them. Maybe they're for people who donated to the shrine. I feel like you could spend a whole afternoon or even a day here in Dazaifu. There are other museums, temples, and gardens to explore. But honestly, I'm a bit tired now. So I think it's about time for me to head back to Fukuoka. I have made it back to Fukuoka. It's around 4:30 right now, so it's not dinner time yet, but that should also mean the famous ramen shops should have a shorter wait time. Time to try another place that's been recommended to me by so many people. There's still a line at Shinshin even at 4 p.m, but it was only about 30 minutes long. Okay, time to eat. For some reason, I feel like Shinshin has a very big noodle portion, bigger than the two other places I tried. Time to try the chashu pork. Oh, the soy sauce flavor is really strong in this one. You can taste that sweetness to it too. Out of the three I tried, I think this one has the best chashu. You can tell by the color that the broth here is less thick than Hakata Issou. So I'm gonna try something that might be completely wrong. For my last bit of ramen, I'm gonna add some chili oil to it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do this or not, but I like my food spicy. That transforms the dish completely. It gives an extra kick to that broth, an extra umami-ness. It sort of heightens all the existing flavors too. Finish. The standout there was definitely the chashu pork. I kind of regret not ordering the portion with more chashu. Out of the 3 Hakata ramen places I tried, here's how I'll rank them based purely on taste. But if you consider the price and wait time as well, I think Ramen 39 comes out on top. You really don't need to go to the most famous restaurants. Another great place to have ramen in Fukuoka is of course Ichiran. They have their headquarters right there behind me. But you can find Ichiran pretty much anywhere in Japan. The noodles are quite standardized already. I'd say tonkatsu ramen is my favorite Japanese dish, period. And Hakata ramen is one of the most famous tonkatsu ramen. So yeah, I could have it all day. I love it so much. And don't worry, of course I ate other dishes here in Fukuoka as well. I just didn't film them all. Another dish really worth trying is motonabe and ofo hot pot. And of course the Fukuoka style gyoza, which is grilled on a hot skillet. I was gonna look for another place to watch the sunset today, but it seems like the clouds are covering the sun. So I guess maybe the light won't be that beautiful. For my last evening in Fukuoka, I'm here by the Naka River for a short stroll. Compared to more popular destinations on Honshu like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, Fukuoka is far less visited. But maybe that's a good thing. As the largest city in Kyushu, Fukuoka provides all the joys and conveniences of any major Japanese metropolis, but at the same time, it isn't overwhelming or hectic. The outskirts of the prefecture also offers stunning getaways like no other. From calming tempos to scenic coastlines, and of course, the delicious food. Fukuoka has quickly become a place I'll recommend to everyone visiting Japan. Next up, I'm continuing south on my Kyushu trip to the city with the cutest mascot in the world, Kumamoto. So please do subscribe to JH Medium for more Kyushu Japan videos coming soon. Thanks for watching and see you in Kumamoto.